Frank Primary School. As promised at the tail end of last week, I'm just getting back to you with regards to new procedures and school policies around the management of COVID-19. We had a meeting earlier in the week which involved all the head teachers in the local authority and also the TTP team for Neath Port Talbot. So we've now arrived at how things are going to work, and I need to communicate that to you. If I can just say that we've already shared a letter outlining all of these things. That's on its way to you today through the usual channels, but equally if I explain to you now in simple terms how things are going, then you'll be able to work with us and hopefully we'll be able to have a smooth restart to the term. Essentially, the vaccination program has made a huge difference now to how things are going to be managed. So children will not continue to be in bubbles. They will play and learn as they have been for the last few days in school, and they will play now with much, as I alluded to last week, they'll play in much larger groups in the yard, which will be good for their social development. However, clearly we are still going to continue to have children with symptoms in school, and when that happens, we will do as we have done before. We will isolate the children in school, we will call yourselves, we will make sure that the children, if they are showing any of the three main symptoms, and those symptoms are a new continuous cough, a high temperature, which we will measure, or a loss of taste or a sense of smell. If it's any of those three, we will give you a ring, we will isolate the child, I will wait with them to keep them company, etc. And hopefully you'll be able to come along, collect the children and then get them tested with a PCR test. Once that happens, if the child is positive, you will be contacted by a contact advisor from the TTP team who will then try to establish with you and the child who their close contacts are. The big difference in all of this now is that the close contact, if you are identified as a close contact, if you are someone who has received both vaccinations, and both of those vaccinations over 14 days ago, then it's highly unlikely that you will be asked to self-isolate. And it's also true that the children in school, now children younger than 12 years of age, are very unlikely to be asked to self-isolate as well, which should mean many more children attending school. However, for children who are deemed close contacts of positive cases, you will be contacted. You will be asked to monitor the symptoms of your child, because we need to keep an eye on that, and you will be encouraged to use lateral flow tests or PCR tests to monitor how they are. So that is how school business is going to continue now. So you can see there that the likelihood is that most children will be in school most of the time, but we will expect some disruption at the start of this process as we get used to working in this way. You will be contacted more. In the past it was more us being contacted by the TTP team, but now that has shifted to the domestic situation in an attempt to just identify those close contacts and establish who has been double vaccinated. So that's the position. What I will ask, please, is that everybody is patient with us in school. You know, as you can imagine, coming back in now, this has already started to happen where we have one or two children who are seeming to have some symptoms. You know, we will go through the process that we went through before. We recognise in school that that's not always going to end in a positive result, and we would hope it doesn't. However, we've got to try and exercise our judgment around symptoms. We try to be balanced in doing that, but please be patient with us, because ultimately we want everybody to be safe and well. We want all the children to be in school, but they need to be safe and well. So I'm sure we'll find a balance with all of that, and we'll find a balance with how all of this works. Last thing I really need to say around any of that is we will put out a message. We're calling it sort of to warn and inform, basically. So if a child in your child's class has a positive result, we will put out a message to that class just to say to be vigilant for symptoms because a positive case was in that class. That doesn't mean keep them home, that means send them to school, but obviously to be vigilant, as you would have been in the last 18 months anyway, around the 3 main symptoms. I hope all of that is clear, and if I haven't made it clear, I hope I've made it clear in the letter. However, as always, we are here to help and support yourselves and to work with us. This is a partnership, so if you need to contact us to query any inconsistencies in what's happening, don't hesitate to do so. This is the next phase of this, and hopefully that means a return to a much more normal time for the children, including all sorts of after school things that we'll share with you in the next week or so. So please work with us, please be patient, and we'll get there, okay? So thank you very much for listening. Cheers.